2024 United States Grand Prix in Austin. Dick's race notes. Okay, here's what I have for you. Number 1. Ferrari caught McLaren and Red Bull napping. McLaren and Red Bull were so intent on beating one another that they seemed to forget about Ferrari for some reason. At the start of the race, Lando could have closed out Max going into turn 1, but it did not look like he was aware that he was fully ahead of Max, and the ensuing scrabbling at the first turn between Lando and Max, combined with a brilliant launch from Charles, let Charles sneak into first place and then check out. Number 2. Mercedes had a horrible weekend. Though Russell drove an amazing race in his recovery from his huge crash on Saturday, Lewis, on the other hand, went off in the same turn that George crashed in, and that was it for his race. There is some conjecture that the new upgrade somehow caught Lewis out, and that is what sent him off the track. Number 3. Speaking of the track, the new surfaces that have been laid down were ultimately about 2 seconds faster than last year. But the new surfaces also played hell on the drivers until it started to rubber in. Number 4. F1 cars through the S's at COTA are simply incredible, impressive, and pick another adjective. Number 5. This year's crowd was enormous, proving that the sport continues to grow in the United States. Number 6. The lack of some real support races is a bit of a shame in my mind, not to take away from the Porsche Cup guys or the historic cars, which were very cool, but the historic cars were really a parade, not a race. The Porsches were fun, but there should have been at least an F4 race there to showcase young American talent. A huge miss by COTA and the US F4 series organizers, in my opinion. I would say the same thing about Miami and Vegas as well. Number 7. To me, Haas and Alpine were the surprises of the weekend. Haas looked very strong all weekend, and so did Alpine, especially Pierre Gasly from time to time. Number 8. Liam Lawson definitely proved his worth in his return to F1. I'm interested in seeing what he does in the remaining races this year. Number 9. How Fernando made it into Q3 with that horrible Aston Martin is beyond me. And it was clear there was no way he could overdrive the car for an entire race distance, but it was nonetheless a brilliant display in qualifying. Sabrina's race notes. Thanks, Dick. Here's mine. Number 1. I really enjoyed this track. As Max said, there are a lot of places for side-by-side racing. Number 2. How wonderful for Ferrari to have the 1-2. It's unfortunate that their stellar effort got overshadowed by other drama. Their race pace should really be acknowledged. I think the sprint gave us a hint of the possibility, specifically the last lap of the sprint when Carlos overtook Lando. But no one, least of all me, wanted to hope too much for a Grand Prix win. Could Ferrari truly be in contention for the constructors? Again, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I can't help myself. They seem to have gotten the tire deg issue under control, which prolongs or prevents the need for the pits, which I think has been their Achilles heel. Number 3. Oscar did a very clinical job during the Grand Prix. As he said, he was bored, he didn't have the pace to do anything in front, had enough pace to keep everyone behind. That was pretty much his hour and a half. Number 4. I find this weekend's performances and competition between Checo and Yuki fascinating. Yuki is really putting it all out there. Clearly, he wants to show he should be in contention for a seat that may be open in Red Bull. I've recently come to appreciate Yuki more than in the past. I think he has matured quite a bit in the last 2 years. Do I think he's ready to be riding alongside Max? I don't know. Is he on his way? I think so. I'd like to hear that Red Bull gave him a test, so at least we get to hear if his racing skill is there. On the other side is Checo. He has to be stressed. I don't think his performance this weekend is where he wants or even needs to be. With Daniel no longer a part of the public picture, all attention must be on Checo's deficits. That's a lot on Checo, and right before his home race. I also wonder about the pressure he's under considering his dad's heart attack. Might Checo decide it's better to exit rather than be pushed out? Number 5. Franco continues to impress me. Number 6. I agree with you, Dick, about the track services. Turn 3, 4, 5, 11 into 12, and 19 apparently continue to have issues. When asked, all three, Charles, Carlos, and Max, noted these turns as being something that COTA will need to continue working on each year. Since turn 19 was mentioned, my mind begins to wonder about Lewis's crash in the early laps of the Grand Prix. Number 7. I really want to make sure we talk about the stewards' calls this weekend when we do our full race review. I don't necessarily disagree with the calls, just want to understand them better. And I really do think permanent stewards need to be considered by Formula One. This would allow for the consistency of rule application. Number 8. Like you, Dick, I really wished we had some feeder series here at COTA. With increased American attention to F1, this would be the place to highlight rising talent and inspire American racers to look to the Formula One grid. And number 9. I love how the top 3 teams are changing between races. I can't wait for next week.